Yo, what's up? This is Patrick from Guy in the Cube, and in this video, I'm going to talk all about the new paginated report visual in Power BI. Stay tuned. If you find this for the very first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date from all the videos from both Adam and this guy. Okay, paginated report visual. It's in preview, but I just could not resist doing a video on it. So you guys know what I like to do. Instead of all this talking, let's do what? Let's head over to my laptop. So the first thing you need to do, because it's in preview, you need to go to File, Options and Settings, and Options. Choose Preview Features. And you'll see down at the bottom, the paginated report visual. Go ahead and check it. You'll have to restart the Power BI desktop if you don't have it enabled already. All right, and click OK. And now you're ready to work. The first thing you need to do is create a paginated report. You can use the Power BI report builder. To do that, when you're designing this out, you make note of your parameter data type, because the data type in the paginated report must match the data type in Power BI report. This becomes really a factor when you're doing dates, because you may have your date formatted as a date time or a date data type in Power BI, but when you do it in paginated report, when it automatically generates one for you, it creates it as a text data type, and so it won't match up. So if you read the documentation in the consideration sections, they kind of walk through the three things that you can do. And then my buddy Jason over at BI Focal, the BI Focal podcast, if you don't listen to it, you should go listen. He wrote a really good white paper on it that walks you through the details of this visual, but also shows you how to address any parameter issues that you may run into. All right, so once you have your paginated report created, go ahead and publish it out to the service. Once it's published out to the service, you need to make sure that it can run, manage your data sources and everything, make sure it executes properly. Once you do that, all you need to do at this point now is use a new visual. So go to the visualization section, click on the paginated report visual, and if you're not signed in, it's going to give you a prompt to sign into Power BI, because that's the only way it's going to know how to find your reports. And so you can see right here, I'm signed in as Patrick LeBlanc. Then I go ahead and choose connect to report, and then you find the report. So this is the report that I want to use in my paginated visual. Go ahead and check the box and choose set parameters. Once you do that, it'll take a little bit to do some identification and some work under the covers to render it. And now you can see it says, hey, you got a little warning here. Go ahead and select the related field to map. And right now you can see everything disabled. That's because when I added the visual, I forgot to map my fields to those parameters. It's okay, right? You can do it anytime. Go ahead and drag it over. Once I drag it over there, you'll see it's enabled. If you have default values for your parameters, that'll be enabled, so you can toggle it on. I don't at this time, but I do have a field that I mapped it to. Check it. It's going to show the selected value for that particular field on your report. Click see report, and then it'll begin to render the report. You need to make sure that people understand that this could take a little bit, because it is going to likely pull a lot of data. So just be careful when you're embedding these in your report, and make sure you put the Power BI report and the paginated report in the same workspace. Once it renders, you'll see that there's your report. You can see I have 2015 selected, and it passes it through to 2015. It's 52,000 rows. If I have this slicer enabled for multi-select, so if I select 2016, you notice this little guy right here. To interact with the elements, you gotta select apply changes before I can set any other properties. And this is on by default, the apply changes. You can toggle it on or off, and I'll show you after I click apply changes. So while this is running, we'll head over to the formatter section for this paginated report visual, and you'll see you have some properties here. One of them is auto apply filters, and you can toggle that on. Anytime someone interacts with a visual that's mapped to the parameter in your report, it's going to automatically refresh that paginated report. Maybe there's 3 slicers that is mapped to parameters in that report. So every time they click one, it's going to start refreshing. My recommendation is keep the auto applied filters off to give your end users, your report consumers, a chance to select everything they want. Then they can click apply when they're ready to do it. Because if you have multiple slicers or multiple elements that you're cross highlighting with, it can be a not so pleasant experience. Just think about that while you're setting up this paginated report visual. So you can see how this slicer passes the values through, and I like it a lot. And then you can see other properties here where you can turn the toolbar on. I'll toggle it on in just a little bit. You can see where you can turn title off and on. Pretty much very similar properties with all the other visuals. So I'm gonna go ahead and toggle this one on. And what happens is I get my apply change. I'm gonna go ahead and click my apply change. I have to wait. So now with the toolbar turned on, you can see I have an option to page through the different pages of the paginated report. report, I can see the parameters, I can set the parameters and view the report. A lot of functionality is supplied directly in the visual. I'm gonna go ahead and collapse this. The second to last thing is the export. Imagine you're using a table visual in Power BI and you can say I only have 52,000. Let's bump it up, right? Let's say I have 104,000. If I go to export this to CSV, I'm gonna get a little warning saying, hey, you've exceeded the export limit. But with paginated reports, you can say I have 104,000. All I need to do is click export, choose an option, and it doesn't have any limits. So I can export as much data as I want to. Now, I'm not quite sure why you want to export data, but hey, everybody's got their own preference. I can export as much as I want. I can choose any format. Not only can I exceed the limit, but if I want to maintain any formatting or anything, you know, like Power BI today with matrices, it doesn't maintain it, but you can definitely do that with some of these export options here in paginated reports. It's pretty cool. The last thing I want to talk about, you notice how I'm doing a multi-select here. I'm not going to click it because it takes a little bit to render. You have to accommodate for that in your paginated report. You can see in this report, I just did something really simple. If I go to the data set itself, I'm just using a SQL data set. You can see that I'm doing in my parameter, and it's really simple. Once I do in my parameter and I go to the parameter itself, I turn on allow multiple values, and Power BI paginated report will automatically create a comma delimited list, and then I use the join function here to display the comma delimited list. All right, what do you guys think? Are you using this new paginated report visual? Do you have any questions, comments? You know what to do. Post them in the comments below. If it's your first time visiting the Guy in the Cube channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like my video, give me a big thumbs up. As always, from Adam and myself, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.